The ancient order. In the beginning there was order, not born of freedom, but of necessity. Human beings built hierarchies to survive. Clans took shape, ruled by a few, obeyed by many. There were no individuals, only the collective. No rights, only duties. No choice, only obedience. This order was rigid, brutal, efficient. It protected life and suffocated the soul. In small tribes it worked. In great nations it became a cage. Thus began humanity, not in liberty, but in submission. Growth and alienation. With growth came distance. Villages became cities. Clans became classes. People became numbers. The closer they stood, the less they knew one another. Power turned faceless. Authority became a machine. The bonds of kinship dissolved, and the human being learned to live alone. He called it progress, but deep inside something began to rot, the slow birth of alienation. The birth of power. When the first ruler called himself king, the age of power began. Families turned to dynasties, and laws became chains. What was divine served the throne, and the throne served itself. The structure was perfect, unjust, eternal, unquestioned. Those who owned ruled. Those who obeyed forgot who they were, and silence became the price of survival. The inheritance of inequality. Through the centuries the pattern held. Power begot power. Poverty begot poverty. Life was predetermined. A wheel of birth, labor and death. Old Europe perfected the design. A prison with manners. A golden cage in which everyone knew their place and knew they could never leave it. The industrial temptation. Then came the fire of machines. Smoke rose where forests had stood. The ground trembled beneath iron and ambition. People left their lands, not by will, but by necessity. Industry promised prosperity. It delivered exhaustion. It promised progress. It delivered displacement. Farmers became laborers. Families became cogs. Hope became dependency. The human being was consumed by his own creation. Dispossession. With the division of labor came the loss of ownership. What once belonged to the worker now belonged to the master. Wages replaced pride. Rent replaced home. The human being owned nothing, not even himself. He sold his hours to survive and lost his soul in the transaction. Thus began the true age of poverty, the silent age of servitude. The dream of America. In the darkness a light appeared. America, a land that promised rebirth, freedom, property, ascent, the trinity of the new world. But it was a mirage, for those who arrived brought with them the old disease, greed, hierarchy, and hunger for power. Only the land was larger, the illusion brighter, and the abyss deeper. The Golden Age. America grew like an organism without a heart. Wealth multiplied beyond measure. Cities rose like temples to consumption. Machines sang the anthem of progress. But beneath the noise, hunger. The poor remained invisible. The rich withdrew into towers of glass. Between them stretched a silence that no bridge could cross, a land overflowing with abundance and empty of meaning. The broken social contract. When the machines began to quiet, the people did too. Solidarity, once the foundation of life, was gone. No one helped anymore. No one cared. The social contract collapsed within a sound. No revolution, no war, only indifference. This is how a civilization dies, not in battle, but in apathy. The age of the individual, each for himself, none for all, that became the new creed. Even misery was privatized. Those who fell, fell alone. Those who starved were blamed. Those who gave up disappeared. A nation of isolated warriors, each fighting ghosts, each dying in silence. Freedom, once a promise, became a weapon, turned against the weak. The slow collapse. Poverty became visible. Tents under bridges, figures in alleys, the forgotten sleeping in daylight. The world watched and turned away. Each day more people lost everything. Homes, families, hope. And no one asked why. The numbers grew, but compassion with it. A silent exodus, happening in the heart of the empire, unnoticed, unopposed. The flight into oblivion, when pain became unbearable. Numbness took its place. Crystals, needles, powder, chemical salvation, a slow suicide performed in daylight. The workers of yesterday became the ghosts of today. They sought comfort in poison and found only oblivion. The streets turned into cemeteries of the living. A nation anesthetized itself until it could no longer feel its own decay. Disintegration, families crumbled, communities dissolved, trust became obsolete. No one believed in anything anymore, not in others, not in tomorrow. The society was no longer sick, it was dead. But no one dared to say it. Only systems still functioned, not souls. The nation continued to move, but without direction, without heart, without meaning. The eternal decline. Collapse did not come with thunder, it came with routine. Every day a little less, every night a little darker. The rich celebrated, the poor vanished. And between them an immense stillness, like the air before extinction. The system endured, not because it worked, but because no one had the courage to let it die. The abyss, now it is complete. The circle has closed. What was once hope is now ash. What was once a society is now dust. A civilization that forgot the meaning of life itself. This is the abyss, the inevitable end of every order that abandons humanity. Not through war, not through fire, but through indifference.